Dude, what a bombshell was dropped on us this morning. November 28th, 2022. This morning, without warning, Metallica drops a new song, all the info on the new album, the album cover, fucking tour dates for next year, 2023 and 2024. No, this came out of nowhere, out of sight. Got up this morning from honestly not a great night of sleep, kind of had a really bad night of sleep, and get up this morning as I do, one of the first things I do, unfortunately, like we probably all do, is we pick up our cell phones, kind of wipe the sleep out of our eyes, and I looked shit on my phone and stuff, and I got on Instagram, okay? And the first thing that pops up is a post from Metallica featuring all this kind of yellowish artwork. And it says, new Metallica song, brand new Metallica album, new Metallica tour. And I'm like, what the fuck? Oh my God. So immediately I screenshot this shit to my best bud, John Bon Jovi, Joey Dildoey, Joseph Barnes, who he's like a huge Metallica fan. Metallica is his band. And I'm like, dude, check this shit out. Then I send it to my buddy, one of my other best buds, Wild Wild West. He's a huge Metallica fan. I'm like, dude, Metallica out of nowhere dropped this fucking bomb. So then we look into this thing. 72 seasons. 72 seasons is the brand new Metallica album that is hitting the stores April 14th, 2023. And the album cover, it's kind of, honestly, the album cover for it, what can I say? I really don't care for the artwork on this thing. It's kind of yellow. It's got like a yellow kind of vibe to it, and it shows like a baby crib and all these kind of kids' toys kind of surrounding the crib, and they're all kind of burnt and destroyed and shit, and kind of right in the middle of the crib is kind of this white light, like there's some kind of explosion or some shit. And I'm like, yeah, the album cover, pretty cool, I guess. It's probably one of my least favorite Metallica album covers, but who cares, dude? After 7 long years of waiting, it has been 7 years. Well, technically about 6.5 years since Metallica released their last brand new studio album in 2016, Hardwired to Self-Destruct. For the first time in almost 7 years, when the new album comes out, we will be getting brand new Metallica music. It's amazing. Dude, and automatically, dude, I just started freaking out. Go on YouTube, here on YouTube, and I type in Metallica, Lux Æterna, the brand new song. And I had high hopes, dude, because honestly, I got into Metallica I'd say like in the late 90s Load and Reload era, and I love Load. Reload, I think it's pretty good. Then came along Saint Anger. What a shit sandwich. In my opinion, Saint Anger is probably the worst album ever released by a huge, big-time band. You know what I mean? By a huge, legendary band. God, it's a fucking shit sandwich. So Saint Anger totally turned me off. For a while, it's kind of like, Metallica, what are you doing? Then in 2008, Metallica releases Death Magnetic. And while I thought that album was good, it didn't really knock me out, man. Like, it kind of sounded like, sounded like a bunch of dudes trying really, really hard to sound relevant again. It sounded kind of forced, It sounded like they were wanting to just automatically go back to what people expect from them. It didn't sound like a natural evolution from Saint Anger. It sounded like, well, everybody wants a thrash album again, so let's go ahead and kind of try to redo and Justice for All or Master of Puppets again. And while they tried, it was just Metallica paint by numbers. So that album kind of restored my faith a little bit. I was like, okay, Metallica's finally back on track. Then comes 2016, Metallica released Hardwired to Self-Destruct. And dude, I remember hearing the title track, Hardwired, and I remember it fucking blew my mind. And then they started releasing songs or videos for every song. And I remember next hearing Atlas Rise, Fucking love it. You know, to make a long story short, Metallica totally kind of relit my flame, kind of rekindled the love I had for that band with Hardwired to Self-Destruct, as it's honestly one of my favorite Metallica albums of all time, and definitely my top 5 favorite Metallica albums. So guys, here we are, 6.5 years later. This morning, Metallica drops a brand new track on us. I'm not really quite sure on how to say this, the title of this thing, but as James Hetfield sings in the chorus, Lux Externia, Lux Externia. So I guess you say it Lux Externia, Lux Externia, Lux Externia. Anyway, so I got on Google and I looked up the meaning of Lux Eternia, and basically it means eternal light. So I'm like, that's fucking awesome, which it makes sense with the kind of the light shining on the album cover. And then the videos, just them thrashing and rocking out this kind of this dark room with all these kind of neon lights shining down and shit. It's awesome. So anyway, I'm going to do a song review on Lux Eternia. The review goes like this, straight to the point. Right out of the gate, the band hits you with new wave of British heavy metal, epic headbanging goodness. I mean, this is taking you back to the years of, you know, 1983, Kill 'Em All, you know, Kill 'Em All vibe, Diamond Head, fucking Angel Witch, Saxon, that kind of shit, man. Motorhead, you know, great stuff. Frenetic speed, evoking a Kill 'Em All, Diamond Head-esque vibe, but with the elements of kind of the more hard rock leanings of Load and Reload, you know, kind of like in the guitar tone of this and in Hardwired. And just the tone of James's voice, the way James sings nowadays is very much in style of like the Load and Reload era, you know. And the guitar tone still kind of has that vibe of Load and Reload, but it's played with the ferocity of Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning and maybe even Master of Puppets, you know. Which all of that was the template of Hardwired to Self-Destruct. It was kind of not Metallica like Death Magnetic trying to be a thrash band again. It was Metallica, you know, just being, you know what, dude, we're guys in our 50s now. We're not going to try to pretend like we're teenagers. We're just going to write and fucking bash out the music that we love. And Hardwired, and I believe the vibe of this new album, 72 Seasons, I think it's going to be more of, you know, kind of a more just straight up heavy metal, new wave of British heavy metal kind of vibe. You know, like fucking Hardwired was, you know. But anyway, yeah. James Hetfield's vocals, man. Very clean and melodic. Dude, James Hetfield, what can you say, man? The guy has always been a great singer. Continues to be a great singer. I've seen Metallica twice last year in 2021. Or no. Yeah, 2021 at Louder Than Life here in Louisville, Kentucky. Celebrating the 30th anniversary of the Black Album. And dude, live, James Hetfield fucking owns it. In the studio, he still owns it, man. Yeah, James's vocals, clean and melodic to the point. And like a buddy of mine, Eric Jordan, RMCP, co-host of the great podcast, the Rock All Over You podcast, and a card-carrying member of the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast Army, the RMCP Army, he brought up a great point to me and said that, you know, that James's voice sounds very much like young James Hetfield again, kind of like Kill 'Em All era. And I totally agree. It might not have that grit and that bite that he had back then, but this is some of the best vocalizing, the best singing James Hetfield has done in fucking years, man, and decades at this point, you know? What can you say at Lars Ulrich, a guy that people love to fucking bash on, a guy that people love to shit on. Lars, right out of the gate on Lux Eternia, Lars is killing it with some double bass action. Everybody likes to shit on Lars. Everybody likes to talk trash about Lars. Honestly, Lars has always been one of my favorite drummers, man. I really dig Lars as a guy, as a personality. I think he's a funny fucking dude. If I was to hang out and party with any member of Metallica, it would definitely be Lars. He's just got such a unique drum style, man. John Bon Jovi always says, and this totally sums it up in my opinion, that Lars is like the Phil Rudd of heavy metal. Lars is the Phil Rudd of thrash metal. Simple, but man, groove-oriented and effective. And Lars totally kills it in Lux Eternia. Really one of the only kind of downer bad things I can say about this fucking mighty song is Rob Trujillo's bass, man, is kind of buried in the mix. I'm really not hearing a lot of bass. And as a bassist myself, bassist of the badass heavy metal band Wild Ride, check us out, WYLDRYDE. Yeah, as a bassist myself, I love hearing really good bass playing. And Rob Trujillo is an excellent bassist. And in this track, you know, not really hearing too much bass. Even though I will admit, I've only listened to this song on my phone and then I streamed it on YouTube on my TV. So I really haven't listened to it on my fucking home stereo or out in my car. Maybe I should have done that. So if there is better bass in the mix, besides what I've heard from my TV and my phone, I apologize, I'm sorry. But yeah, from what I've heard so far, the bass, I wish it was up a little bit more, a little more clear. But anyway, Rob Trujillo's a badass bass player. He's playing on the last Ozzy album, Ozzy Osbourne, Patient Number 9, killing it. So Rob's in great fashion. I know he'll kill it on 72 Seasons. Dude, and Kirk Hammett, in my opinion, besides James's vocals on this track, you know, really, dude, all fucking 4 members of Metallica are MVPs on this track, man. But Kirk Hammett gives us a full-on fucking face melter. And guess what? There's not a bunch of, it's not drenched in wah-wah. None of that, dude. It's like Kill 'Em All era, Ride the Lightning era. Kirk Hammett just killing it with these, you know, kind of bluesy pentatonic licks. And he is giving it some kind of cool Floyd Rose whammy bar kind of dives in action. So Kirk Hammett, dude, completely killing it. Kirk Hammett, to me, I've always described Kirk Hammett as, you know, how you say that Lars Ulrich is the Phil Rudd of heavy metal. Well, I've always said that Kirk Hammett is like the Ace Frehley of heavy metal and thrash metal. In that, you know, dude, like Ace Frehley, Kirk Hammett's, you know, box of guitar tricks is not a lot. You know, he stays within that kind of blues pentatonic scale. But man, what that motherfucker can do with 4 or 5 notes is just insane. Ace was the same way. Kirk, just like Ace, just can take 4 notes and just make magic out of it, dude. Melodic, cool, sing-along guitar solos. Kirk Hammett kills it right here. Some awesome stuff. With this, I love the chorus. It's very kind of Kill 'Em All-esque. Lux Externia, Lux Externia. I can just picture everybody crowded in a huge arena or stadium, just as Metallica's playing this and fucking flames are blowing up on stage and everybody's up there raising their horns going, Lux Externia, with James and the guys rocking. Love the chorus. The opening riff, man, as soon as I heard that opening riff, man, the first thing, well, one of the first things I heard, I was like, dude, this is straight up like new wave of British heavy metal shit. This is straight up out of the songwriting book of Diamond Head, man. But I also like, but with that, it's also kind of got a vibe, a little bit of modern Megadeth, you know? Totally sounds like something that could have been off, Megadeth In Game or Dystopia. I'm like, man, that sounds eerily like some Megadeth. So who knows, man? I mean, you know, I know that James and Dave, they come from the same songwriting school. The Motorhead, the Diamond Head, the Angel Witch, Saxon, Thin Lizzy kind of shit, you know? So, you know, Megadeth might have been an influence. I highly doubt it. But nonetheless, they all share the same influences and they all kind of think the same. You know, so yeah, the fucking opening riff, very eerily reminiscent of Megadeth. But honestly, Lux Eternia, you know, I might get some flack for this, but after hearing this, I've probably listened to this damn thing about 10 times. I will say that Lux Eternia pretty much destroys every song off of the latest album from Megadeth, The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead. I think Lux Eternia pretty much wipes the floor with almost everything on that album. But I don't want to get into the Metallica versus Megadeth crap, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I love the lyrics. You know, if you really read the lyrics while the song is playing, you know, you kind of, it's like a modern take. It's like a modern take on like Hit the Lights or Seek and Destroy, you know. It's talking about the feeling and the rush of being at a metal show with your buds and your friends, you know, just having fun, rocking out, drinking some beers, high-fiving each other, and sharing the experience of bonding with the band through the badass fucking music. It's very much like, you know, like a, you know, I am you, you are me, we are one, heavy metal rules kind of vibing song. So, dude, get on here, get on Spotify, fucking YouTube Music, Apple Music, whatever, wherever you stream your music, and listen to Metallica, Lux Externia. I think that's how you say it. Lux Externia! Lux Externia! Love it, dude. So that's the review I have for it. I'm super pumped about this album. Too bad we got to wait like 5.5 months to get this fucking thing. And they're starting to throw, you know, the pre-orders up for t-shirts on Metallica's website, CDs, records. I will definitely be picking this up release day on vinyl and CD. And I'd like to get a cool fucking t-shirt of it. But the t-shirt design that they have so far is not really cool. On the front, it says like 72 in this kind of yellow look. And on the back, it has the Metallica M in yellow. Not really doing it for me. I would just like a t-shirt, which is plain and simple with the album cover on it. Maybe like a giant Metallica logo over top of it. That'd be fucking cool. But nonetheless, I'm hyped for some new Metallica, dude. It's been a long 6.5 years, man. And I'm really fucking stoked. I want to see these guys on tour. Some of the bands are touring with, it seems like they're only going out on weekends right now. And then, you know, some nights they're playing with fucking Five Finger Death Punch, Mammoth WVH, Wolfgang Van Halen's band. Who else? Ice Nine Kills or something. But what I like to see them with is fucking Metallica and Pantera. And I say Pantera as in Pantera because, you know, we got Phil Anselmo, Rex Brown, Zakk Wylde, and Charlie Benante. You know, it's not really Pantera, but it is like a tribute to Dimebag and Vinnie Paul. So blah, 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 whatever. We get to see fucking Pantera music live. And unfortunately, I never got to see Pantera live back in the day. But I'd love to catch a show, Metallica and Pantera. It'll be fucking sick. So for this song, Lux Externia, on the Dick Twatkins scale of ranking, I would give this song fucking 5 stars, man. It's a modern masterpiece. And this is exactly what I want from Metallica in 2022 and 2023. I don't want some Saint Anger bullshit. I don't want Death Magnetic. I don't want them trying to be something that they're not. I just want James, Lars, Kirk, and Rob to go into the studio and just make real, true music. Who we are today. And that's what they did with Hardwired to Self-Destruct. And that's what they're doing so far with this song on 72 Seasons. I have a feeling that this is going to be a really fucking good album. And is already, damn year hasn't even started. And this is only one song, but I guarantee Metallica has a good chance of taking 2023 away with the best album of the year. So guys, thanks for checking out the show. Once again, this is Wild Ride bassist Mick Watkins, otherwise known as Dick Twatkins. Check out my band Wild Ride, WYLDRYD on Facebook, official Wild Ride on Instagram. And guys, I will see you next time. Keep fucking rocking. Yeah! Crank some Metallica. Lux Externia! Yeah! That's not how it goes, but that's my version. See you guys.